There's one major concept that you need to do as a man to honestly be a man, and that is to make as much money as you can. Now, I know a lot of people, like, I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and the basic tenets of my life is, what would Jesus do? Plain as that. I read the Bible every day. I try and extract information from that, and I use it. But all the things that you want to do in life to show your wife you care about, or show your kids you can take care of them, show others that you can provide, serve, to lead, to love as a man, come back to the basic fact that you need to make money. Now, if we start to think about money, not from the perspective of, oh, my job doesn't pay me, I don't know what to do, I don't have enough money. You watching this on YouTube right now on this little screen, I'm nothing more than pixels on a screen online. I'm some stranger who is pixelized onto screens online. Literally everything that you do online and every way you make money, it comes down to a pixel on your screen. Even when you follow your friends on social media and you see them on social media, on YouTube, whatever it may be, it's literally just pixels. You're not there experiencing it with them. So you need to take and tease out that idea from there, right? Now, if you think about your bank account, every time you go on that little app and you freak out about, oh my God, this is too, there's a negative, there's a positive, blah, 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 blah. It's literally pixels on a screen. Now, I'm not saying financial debt's not a real thing. I'm not saying financial freedom isn't a real thing. What I'm saying is, when you look at that and you freak out, you're freaking out over pixels on a screen. It's like getting broken up with some model on the OF, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she's not showing her blah, blah, blah anymore. When the reality is like, there's a dude who's using her on the other side, and that's the person you're talking to. That's literally what the banks are doing. They're like playing a little game with you where you feel like, oh, I need to make more money so I can give more and put more in the bank. So the bank can use that money in order to make more money for themselves, while you get like, what is it, 0.01% interest that you're taxed on? Our savings, I'm not gonna say that because I don't wanna put out the number. Let's just say our savings interest rate is funny because you get an interest rate back, you get a couple dollars back, and then you're like, oh, it's awesome. But then you see the tax taken off of that, and you're like, what? Your interest rate is so marginal. Like, you put $1,000 in the bank, you maybe get like $1 back, right? But the bank is using that $1,000, your $1,000, my $1,000, everyone we know is $1,000, to make themselves millions of dollars. And you're freaking out, playing their game, looking at that pixel, thinking, oh my God, there's not enough. I need to make more. You burn yourself out making more money. So you can put more money in the bank, so the bank makes you feel better when you look at the app and you're like, okay, I have $20 today. This is good. But the bank's like, okay, that's awesome. And while they made $2,000 off your $20, because your 20, my 100, this person's 1,000, that person's 500, all comes together, which literally does not exist. It does not exist beyond a pixel on your account. Like, when you look at the account, you see what you have written on the account. That's literally all that exists. The money is not tucked away in a little tiny, nice box in the bank with your name on it, where you can go to the bank and be like, hey, I need this money. That's why people get scared about bank runs, when they get freaked out, because they're like, okay, if everyone came in, if there's 100 people with $1,000 who wanted to get their money out, that's $100,000. I don't know why it took me that long to do that math so $100,000. The bank might literally only have $20,000 at the actual bank. So when they have to give it out, because people want to take the money out, there is no literal dollar there. That's why they freak out. You have a lot more power than you think. I'm not saying this is like some stand up against the Fed, disband the Fed kind of thing. But if you think about the basic concepts, that you're freaking out over something that does not exist. That's what anxiety, that's what worry is. You're freaking out over something that doesn't exist. And if you think about it, I came up with this analogy in my head. I know you hear it a lot about life is a video game, right? Well, kind of. Right? You can't do stuff in Grand Theft Auto like you can in real life. You can't do things in real life that you can in Grand Theft Auto. But when you think about life as a video game, you stop thinking about money as... Actually, I think about it as an arcade. The reason arcades use tokens, right? Like if you go to Dave & Buster's, pinballs, anything like that, they use tokens, or they give you a card. So you don't see your actual cash in hand being put out. Even then, you don't have the cash on hand. You probably have like a credit card, debit card, whatever. You don't actually swipe it every time. You don't feel that swipe. They transfer that idea out of you into, here is your actual money. Here's $20 bill, right? You take the $20, you give it to them. They load it into a prepaid card. You swipe that card because you're like, whatever. Or it's tokens. Instead of like an actual, it looks like a coin, it looks like a quarter, right? But instead of an actual quarter, it's like tokens. So you've separated yourself from the idea that this is money. You're just play money, right? So if you think about it that way, you are literally playing with your money. And if you think about whatever you play, you get points on, right? Or whenever I go, there's games I like to play just for fun, right? Like the Jurassic Park games I really like. Time Crisis, I love to play those. But you don't get points back for winning anything. Versus if you play skee ball, if you play pinball, and you get a high score, you get a certain amount of points based on that you can trade in for things. I remember my dad once, we were really young, and my sister and I spent a day at Chuck E. Cheese trying to win, I think it was a lava lamp. No, it was a disco ball, right? The disco ball was like 1,000, maybe like 500 tickets. You can probably hit a jackpot on something. It's just like you can win the lottery possibly. And you can get that 500 tickets to buy the lamp, right? But how much time did you spend trying to make that 500 tickets? How much money did you spend trying to make those 500 tickets, right? We probably spent like $50 to play $50 worth of games to get 500 tickets to exchange for that lamp. And one time my dad was like, maybe he was just tired of being there and it's like, oh my God, the noise, the cheese, oh, it's Chuck E. Cheese, it's pretty gross. As you become an adult, you're like, this is gross. Maybe he was just tired of it. I don't know. He loves us, right? So we go home. Next day, the lamp is there because he went to Walmart and bought it for like $10. He saved time, not having to spend all this energy and effort trying to like win it. He saved effort and energy just going to Walmart, buying it, putting down. And I get it. There's a joy in garnering and gathering in order to get it. That's why Minecraft is so fun, because it's just half of the time you're just gathering stuff. I love Breath of the Wild because half the time you're just gathering stuff. Half the like the Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla was okay. Odyssey and Origins. Half the time I was just hunting people down I just wanted to get the stuff. Right? I didn't even play the game. I don't think Odyssey, it took me a while to actually be like, oh, let me play the game. And when I played the game, I was so overpowered, I was kind of like, this isn't as great. I know it scales, but it's the same thing. If you start to think about your money as fun coupons, your job then becomes to distinguish between, are you my dad or are you us as kids at Chuck E. Cheese? Are you doing the things that are giving you the money necessary to buy the thing? Or if you think like an adult, like my dad, do you just go get the thing? If you think about money not as money, right? Like we get so caught up and freaked out about money. If you have debt, I get it. It sucks that feeling is real, right? Of having soul-crushing student debt, right? I don't want $10,000 of debt hanging over my head. There's an idea there. But this is not The Sopranos. Some gangster's not gonna come out of the way, break your kneecaps because you haven't paid the debt. Your debt's at the bank. It's literally some made-up number that you're freaking out about. And I know that sounds dismissive because it's a very real number that, especially if they start garnishing your wages, that's a very real thing. But we made the choices that put us in this situation, that put us in this place where oh crap, I have this debt. Like I'm working down $14,000 of business debt right now because I took bad decisions, worked with stupid scammers, and got screwed. But I made that decision. It doesn't weigh on me, not because it shouldn't weigh on me, but because it's like, okay, it's a game. If you think about your video game, if you think about the arcade, if I want this goal, what do I have to do? What tasks do I have to do that get me the freedom coupons, the fun coupons, like the fun coupons from Wolf of Wall Street is a great way to think of it. How do I make that money to pay it down so that I can be free of it, right? That's all it is. Because let's say there's some crazy, like with The Last of Us out right now, say there's some crazy catastrophic world-ending thing that happened like 2020 on steroids. Do you think you care about your debt then? No, you're like, oh, I'm free. Oh, that sucks. We have friends, I'm not saying I advocate for this, we have family friends who just claim bankruptcy and start fresh. Yeah, I get your credit score goes down, all that blah, blah, blah. Credit score is a scam anyways too. But they're like, they live their best life. They go on vacations. Their money is as good as anyone else's. They pay for things. They enjoy their life. While you're sitting there struggling like, I don't have any debt, but I don't enjoy my life. Now again, I am not a financial, legal, medical, psychiatric guru, or this is not meant to be any financial advice. Don't ever take it as that. I will deny it because that is not what it is, and I'm giving you the disclaimer. You're a smart cookie. You know how to use YouTube, you're a smart cookie. I'm not telling you to go get into a bunch of debt to go fund a lifestyle that you can't afford. But you're freaking out over the decisions you made where you enjoy that idea of you can't have your cake and eat it too, or whatever it is, kind of like that. You want to enjoy your life, so you make more money. The problem is, as you make more money, you stress and you don't enjoy your life anymore. So you're building up all this wealth for what? Now, getting back to my basic point, as a man, the number one way you become a man and be a man is you make a lot of money. You're not a man if you live with your parents, because you're still relying on them to feed you. If your parents live with you because you have so much money that you can provide for them and take care of them too, you're a man. But you're not a man unless you make a lot of money. You're not. Because guess what? Money funds everything that you do. As a man, your job as a man, I learned this from Ryan Mickler, is to provide, protect, and provision, protection, and there's another one. But provide and protect. You want to provide for your family? That costs money. You want to pay for good food? That costs money. You want to take your kids on vacation so they enjoy their life and see, okay, this is what we do. So you don't, I learned from Eric Thomas, he provides a very good life to his daughter when she was growing up, so that way she wouldn't settle for crumbs from another man. You want to do that. If I'm becoming a girl dad, and the number one thing I want to teach my daughter is that you will not settle for dusties and crusties. You're gonna know your worth. You're a child of God. Know your worth. You are better than, oh, let's go to McDonald's. Okay, yes, dear. You're gonna be better than that. I got you these cubic zirconium earrings from Walmart. Oh my God, he loves me. Like, no. They're gonna learn better than that. They're gonna know better than that. This is a James Avery necklace, right? I have friends with David Yurman necklaces that are like 10 times more expensive. And I'm like, I wouldn't buy it, but there's definitely a difference in knowing your worth. Now again, I'm not saying that your worth makes you as a man, right? I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, and I've been called heretic, so I'm used to it now. Jesus wasn't poor. He comes from a carpenter family. He was a woodworker. He had income. The people he ran with, the disciples, the apostles, were doctors, they were physicians, lawyers, businessmen, tax people. Like they fished. Guess what you do? You sell fish. You make a lot of money selling fish. People who sell fish, back in the day when it wasn't like as commercialized, that's a skill. You get paid a lot for that skill. You want a table? Go to Jesus. Jesus bar Joseph. I need table. Okay, here's an exchange for the table. I'm a tax collector. I collect for the Roman Empire. Guess what? You have to pay me. I'm a physician. You're sick. You want help? You have to pay me. It's not about making money for the sake of making money. The job here is that you make money because it provides value. You're providing value. I have 3 core tenets I wake up and think about my day with. Make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and find peace. If I can't find peace in making the money, I don't do it. If I can't find peace in helping the person, I don't do it. If I can't help this person help me make money, help them make money, if I can't make money helping others, I don't do it. One of the things I had to teach someone was, you complain and worry about people making money selling their body online as the pixels, like I said. I don't know what I can say and can't say. But you both go to the same restaurant. Is your money not good? It's good. This isn't about morals, right? The fact is, if they found a way to make their money and you found a way to make money, but you're on your high horse like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be cringy. I'm not saying I agree with it. That's where I get a lot of people who are like, you can't talk about Jesus and approve. I don't approve of it. But the bank takes their money the same way. Like, I had friends in high school. Screw it, I already said it. I had friends in high school who sold that good weed. Oh, I just said it. That good stuff. That Mary Jane, right? Let's be real. YouTube, if you crack down on this, like, grow up. Like, kids are doing that. And if we went to Whataburger, as you can tell I'm a Texan, if we went to Whataburger, their cash was the same as my cash that I worked hard for, flipping iPhones, stitching lacrosse sticks, and I did more work. It comes down to service. What are you doing? I learned a lot doing that. That's a story for another time. How you make your money, obviously there's ethics. I will never look down on someone who makes an ethical dollar. But at the end of the day, can you lay down and rest your head and say, I provided for my family, I protected my family, and you can sleep at night? Good for you. Do what you need to do. Go with God. But you are not a man if you don't make money. Because I've been there where I've asked my parents, hey, I need $20 for a haircut. That's embarrassing. Do you think I can provide for a family if I'm relying on my parents to help me buy a haircut? Now, as you can see, I'm kind of fuzzy right now because my dude's been on vacation and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm buying $100 haircuts now. I'm not saying not to flex, it's because I recognize and see the value in this man and who he is as a man, as a husband, as a father, so I pay him his worth. I see myself. The $8 haircut down the road that kind of does a job, okay, cool. If it does a job, it does a job. But there's something to be said when you sit down with a man for an hour, get a nice haircut, get a trim, get things off your mind. There's a reason why you don't screw with a man and his barber. That's therapy. And there's a difference. It's like you can get the same diaper at Target as you can at Walmart as you can on Amazon. Amazon, you go there for convenience. I don't want to deal with like a bunch of people. Just give me the diapers. Send it to me. It's the same thing. Cool. Awesome. Sometimes my wife wants to go to Target because she just wants to be around the environment. I can smell the coffee. I can maybe go get it. She wants to just walk around and just look at nicer things. Awesome. Let's go do it. But I hate Walmart. I hate Walmart. Their job is to cater to the bottom denominator. If you shop at Walmart because that's all you have around you, go do your thing. I said I hate it. I do not like it. I love the business model. I don't like McDonald's, but I love the business model. I hate Walmart, but I love the business model. Because whenever you go to Walmart, everyone's just such in bad mood. No one's ever happy at Walmart. The only time I was ever happy at Walmart was when me and my wife were like, let's go make steak and carbonara. So we had to go to Walmart because it was the closest thing. We went with our dog, we picked up the stuff and left. Right? It got the job done. But when you actually shop at Walmart for necessities and things that you have to get, everyone's so annoyed. Stuff's stolen everywhere. Half the stuff's open. It's all dirty. It's all cluttered. No one wants to be there. It's such a low vibe environment. You walk into Walmart, you're automatically like depressed. And you're like, why? I've never seen anyone happy at Walmart. And again, if you have to shop at Walmart, you do what you have to do to provide for your family. That's all I care about. If you can honestly provide for your family, you can honestly lay down at night and say, I'm proud of my day. Awesome. Great for you. But there comes a point where you look back and you're like, why would I do that? Why would I do that to myself? Because then I bring my whole day down. So if you want to stop shopping at Walmart, you make more money. It goes back to those core tenets. Make a lot of money, help a lot of people, find peace. What is the purpose in making a lot of money if you don't have peace? What is the point in helping a lot of people if you can't find peace? You're sacrificing yourself, you're burning yourself out trying to please others, and that's why you're in that 9-to-5 job mentality. You get so caught up in trying to please others that you've burned yourself out and you're just annoyed and disgusted in your life. Because when you go back at the end of your day, you might have people who are around you hanging out like, thank you for the work you've done. But is your family there because their family wants to be there, or your family there because, hey, these are dad's last moments. I want to be there for that. Or are they there because, I kind of have an obligation to be here. Your job's not going to remember you. Your kids will. They'll remember whether you're there or not. They'll remember if you provided or not. I told my mom over the weekend, Mom, Dad, we weren't the wealthiest. We lived a very middle class life. Back when the middle class existed, we lived a very middle class life. But I can't speak for my sister, but I never wanted for anything. Obviously, there are things we wanted, a puppy, typical kid stuff, right? But we never wanted. We didn't struggle like that. I'm very blessed to have come from that. So I told my mom straight up, Mom, I thank you for our childhood. Well, obviously, it's like, we had really wealthy parents. We had really wealthy friends who did a lot more things, who invited us to things, and my parents felt uncomfortable at times. But I could always say, like, I've never wanted as a child. You always took care of us. I felt prepared for life. Thank you. The way you do that is make money, helping others, finding peace. Ironically, the only thing I remember from my childhood and the trauma I had was parents fighting about money. And I took that in two ways. Originally, it was money was never enough, always hoard money, always make more money. So my work ethic comes from the fact that I will do everything it takes to provide for my family. That's the flip side of it. The second is there's no peace. So why would I search for more money when Why would I focus on money when there's no peace? You're watching this because I'm telling you like how to be a man, right? Your job as a man, to follow the best example is Jesus Christ, is peace. The only time he ever got, and the only main documented time that we see that Jesus got angry was when people were using his father's house, the temple, as a place for selling. And there's nothing wrong with selling. There's nothing wrong with sales, marketing, etc. But rather, where are you doing it? That's that perspective part. What is the piece that you are ignoring? Because if you go to the temple because you want to go to the temple, but there's people selling stuff, you're like, oh, that's not it. You go to Walmart because you need to get some things, you get your things, right? But then you leave because no one there is happy and everyone just annoys you. And going to Walmart is the worst thing you can do. Like, genuinely, going to Walmart is the worst thing you can do because everyone's upset, you're going to get upset, and it ruins your day. And your wife isn't going to remember, well, he was having a bad day because that cashier was just so rude. They could have been super rude. All she'll remember is, dude, my husband's being a butthole right now. He's just being so annoying. She'll remember you. Your kids will remember you. Your kids won't remember, his boss, we should forgive dad because his boss is on his ass all day about this project that doesn't actually matter in the end of the world. They'll remember dad wasn't around. This is your call to tap into that financial freedom frequency, to make more money, to become the king of your life again, to enjoy life again by having more money so you don't have to deal with people at Walmart. Or as my coach used to say, or as my weightlifting coach said, if you find yourself at Walmart, in the Walmart garden section at 3 a.m., you've done something wrong. Do something right and stay out of Walmart. And peace, love, and light. This is Lawrence. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Signing off.